Each year I find myself rewatching my favorite film and TV opening scenes to try to figure out why I like them so much. It varies depending on the film, but I almost always pick up something new that I like upon each rewatch. Everyone has heard how important the introduction to anything is, whether it be for a book, a film, a speech, and so on. Engaging the audience from the start is very important, and some do it better than others. The Social Network is a film that is subject to a ton of film essays, especially centering around the now famous opening scene of the film. A lot of these discussions center around how good the writing and acting of the scene is, which makes a lot of sense due to the quality of the film. But there are other small details that I believe are very important in making the scene and the film memorable overall. The first aspect of the scene I would like to mention is the background noise. Background noise is a staple of director David Fincher's work. There are many reasons why including background noise in a scene like this is important. Firstly, it actually forces the audience to pay attention to what the actors are saying. Later in the film, Mark Zuckerberg and Sean Parker are talking at a nightclub, and this scene's background noise is almost drowning out the dialogue of the scene.
100 schools by the end of the summer? Yep. Tell you what, gesture of good faith. When you're getting into 100 schools, I'll put you on 2 continents.
It can be hard to hear exactly what each person is saying in the scene unless you're paying a lot of attention to it. This can raise the importance of each word spoken in the scene. Secondly, adding background noise in a scene like this is going to make the scene feel more realistic. As a filmmaker, there are certain actions you can do to convince the audience that they are really there with the characters. The audience is going to have an expectation of what a nightclub or a bar sounds like.
The first take we did, David let all the people in the bar speak, so that was another reason it was so satisfying, is because he tried to create a sense of realism beyond what movies logistically warrant by having all the extras in the scene speak at full volume and be saying things that you would have to account for as an editor.
So instead of filming a perfectly silent scene of 2 people talking at a bar, Fincher adds background noise to make the scene feel more realistic. This will better immerse the audience into the plot, engaging the audience from the start. The second aspect I would like to mention is the dialogue. The dialogue in the scene gets recognized a lot because Aaron Sorkin's dialogue is so unique.
I love the sound of dialogue. It sounded like music to me, and I wanted to imitate that sound.
Sorkin dialogue is hard.
Sorkin is well known for his fast-paced, witty writing style, but the way the dialogue plays out in this scene is different. Mark Zuckerberg and his girlfriend Erica are having a conversation that quickly turns into an argument. Instead of the argument beginning with one of the characters saying a line that upsets the other one, it is a scene-long buildup of frustration. At the beginning of the scene, we notice that Mark is not answering any of Erica's questions. For example, when she asks a question, he goes and talks about something else completely unrelated.
How do you distinguish yourself in a population of people who all got 1600 on their SATs?
I didn't know they take SATs in China.
They don't. I wasn't talking about China anymore. I was talking about me.
You got a 1600?
Yes, I could sing in an acapella group, but I can't
Does that
sing.
mean you actually got nothing
I
wrong?
could row crew or invent a $25 PC.
Or you get into a final club?
Or I get into a final club.
So they are having a conversation on top of each other for a good portion of the scene. We can see with reaction shots that Erica is not pleased with this. The weaving of dialogue on top of each other is a very interesting way of building up to an argument. Lastly, one small thing I would like to mention here is the use of close-up shots. Fincher has a philosophy on the use of close-ups.
Every time you go to a close-up, the audience knows subconsciously that you've made an editorial decision, that you said, look at this is important.
From this quote, we can see the value Fincher places in this particular shot. In this scene, there are 2 close-up headshots back to back. Since we already know that Fincher would not place these shots in the scene for no reason, what is the significance of these shots? This shows the characters finally agreeing on something during their conversation. After this one moment of connection in the conversation, they go back to overlapping their dialogue until their argument escalates and Erica breaks up with Mark. There are a lot of small, somewhat hidden details that make up filmmaking, and these are a few that I believe make this opening scene stand out, alongside every other aspect of the scene that gets talked about so much. Thank you for watching.